This is Rob from Pineapple Creations, and in this video, we'll be painting some skeletons. Hey there! So, skeletons. I had too many of them. I forgot where they were. I found them in a box one day, and I thought, you know what? It's time to give them some new life. They've been in my pile of shame for who knows how long. There were gifts from old family members, co-workers, from all over the place. So I decided to give them, a 2020 makeover, because most of these are from like the late 80s, early 90s. First things first, I gave them some round bases. I used my handy dandy E6000 and I just started gluing them down. This Archer and many like them from the Ancient Tombstone line from Games Workshop. I cut off their square bases, I sanded their feet, and put them on circular bases. This old guy from honestly I don't know when or where cleaned up the square base, scraped it up, gave him a new home. This is a Games Workshop, I think, Wraith from I'm not sure when. It's from the 90s, but I'm not sure for what army or what game, but I thought it'd be cool on this round base. And I love the idea of this skeleton holding another skull, because why not? So I'm updating them all, giving them some new life. It's time. And it's also nice to paint something I haven't really painted, because usually I paint insectoids or my Tyranids or humanoids. So just some classic skeletons you can't go wrong with. This Archer also, I'm not a big fan of square bases, so it also felt great to put them on round bases for that reason as well. So this guy looks like a champion, definitely from the Tomb King line that's discontinued from Games Workshop, but now he's going to be for all my D&D needs. This Lich, great on a 32 mil, and now that they're all on bases, it's time to base the bases. I had some of this Vallejo Earth texture, which is spectacular, by the way. It's pretty viscous and it dries like mud. So all you have to do is solder some on and you're good to go. It's great to work with because it is so easy to apply. I'm literally just using a sculpting tool and that's it. A sculpting tool, which is pretty much like a fancy spatula. You can use a stick, an old paintbrush, whatever you want. It's great, simple, and I have 200 milliliters of it, so I'm using it for a lot of my basing. And now here they are, looking a bit more up to date, a little fancier than usual, and I'm gonna give some of them more personality. So those two monopose guys, it was the late 80s, early 90s. Casting computer, you could only do so many poses. So I thought, why not cut some of their top knots, use some extra bits that I had, and give them some new life. A couple old swords and some old shields can go a long way. And now I have a lot more unique skeleton warriors for either Frostgrave or D&D, or honestly, I don't even know yet. The possibilities are limitless, and I just loved working with this project and giving ancient models new life. So I primed them all with some Stynylrez white primer using my Badger Patriot, and because I'm going to try messing around with contrast paints for the first time, which you'll see in a little bit. But Stynylrez white primer is great. It dries so well, it's so easy through the airbrush, and it's exciting to give all these models the paint job they deserve. Just paint it, Sometimes you just have to find a pile of minis that you don't know if you're ready to paint or if they've been around for too long. It just doesn't matter. Just go for it. Have some fun with it, Especially this wing guy. I love this guy. Just has wings. Why? I don't know. This Lich also looks iconic. I love that they're all pewter. They're all different. So these Citadel contrast paints, I never really used them before, but I love it. The skeleton one is perfect. I know Games Workshop always suggests using their primer, but this is just, again, Steino Res White Primer. They look pretty spooky to me, appropriately skeletal, so I think it's really effective. It gets the job done, and also, like, this is so much easier than painting them like a bone color than bone washing them. I covered a majority of the model just in case I missed a spot, and it's so translucent, like the next color is going to go on so easy, which is silver. I did all the silver parts. Chainmail, skeleton, armor, because skeletons need armor. Swords, helmets, whatever. This is the tip of the scythe. This guy has to take a chain belt, so I did that. Just, giving it some personality. So it's always interesting, like this axe guy, there's two of them, they look exactly the same. To give them personality is going to be a little tricky, but, that's some of the challenge of using these ancient models. Also, this guy is just cool. I love him. So I started with his chainmail, like the tips of his spikes, the chainmail on his torso. Just making everything nice and metallic is the way to go. This guy's two swords, because he's definitely some type of champion. This headband on the archer. Everything is metallic now and ready to, it's getting there, they're almost ready. This guy too, pretty cool. And again, like, just painting something out of my comfort zone felt fun. It was exciting to try a new method of batch painting 12 skeletons. I probably should have started with 2 or 3, but whatever. Up next went to bronze. Just some of the shields, this guy's extra armor, a couple things here and there, just adding some more variety. And then we go to gold. I know this Lich Queen, which I'll call her now, needs some gold because she's royalty. And then I washed the metals and the stone with Drakenhorf Nightshade from Games Workshop. I didn't want to paint the stone. I just wanted to see how it would look like if I washed it, and honestly, it looks perfect. It looked great. This Drakenhorf Nightshade is usually my go-to to wash silver, because it gives it like that cold steel feel to it, and it's pretty simple. Like, I'm just slather and wash on everything, and that's what I like about this project. It's no fancy techniques. It's just trying something in a new way. So this Panzer Earth brown from Vallejo's a great brown. I use it for all my leathers, for my wood, for everything in between. And that's the story with these guys. They're going to be brown. Whatever needs to be brown is going to be brown. And then we'll wash it down with Agrax Earthshade later. So the hilts, the sticks, the leather, these little straps, giving some life to these models. The straps might be minor, but on a model that's a naked skeleton, the minor details go a long way. This guy's hilt, his gloves, the Lich Queen's boots. So everything is nice and brown. Up next is the Blue Violet from Vallejo Game Color. I used that as like the unifying color between the entire pretty much skeleton warband or encounter, however I want to use them. Originally I just started painting the clothes, because it looked cool, and then I realized, maybe I should give them some face paint, and that's what I started doing with our friend over here. And every skeleton thereafter, I gave them an armband or like a purple line on their heads to give them more of a angry, unified skeleton front. And with the two guys with axes, I tried giving them different lines on their face, so at least there's a little bit of variety, but it's hard to notice with those large helmets they have on their heads. But the purple is great. It's also the color of royalty, so why not give everybody some purple? Definitely this guy needed some purple wings, because how could he not? This purple-robed, wraith-looking friend, the Lich, all purple all the time. It's a great color to work with. And then I shaded everything down with Druchii Violet. It gives cloth, or it gives anything a lot of depth when you wash it down. So simple wash on all the purple, gave it some volume, gave it some personality. And less is more in this case, just a little dollop on all the cloth. And when it dries, it'll give it some nice depth. So the arrow tips as well, just to stay consistent. The face paint and like the arm paint stays like the normal violet it is. Up next we'll do black. Gave him his top knot black. I'm going to give this skeleton's mullet, I guess, a black color. The robes, this person's hair, because skeletons with hair, right? That makes sense. This guy's bat armor, which is pretty cool. Her hair is great. I started black, then I kind of went with like the Bride of Frankenstein vibe with some of the gray, just to give some variety. And so all the black hair, the black fur, tried giving it some type of gray highlight. Then I started dry brushing the bases gray. It's quick, it's easy. And then after I based it, I dry brushed it gray. I went in with some rubbing, with some pigments to give it that nice gritty, dirty look. And it's quick and simple, and a little pigment goes a long way. So this is a burnt sienna Vallejo pigment. Put that in there with some rubbing alcohol because it evaporates quickly, and then you just dab it onto the base of the models. And when it dries, it gives like a muddy, gray, dusty look. So I did that on all the models. I kind of dabbed it on the base of the models, and also with the Lich Queen, I kind of just dabbed it a little on the chair itself at the altar, just to give it a little bit of like grimy look. And I clear varnished everything, and here we are. It was really fun to do something different. It's great to give all these models a new life. If you liked what you saw, comment, subscribe, share it, and I hope this inspired you to paint some of your old models.